Greetings, my name is Brother Moses Israel. I only got less than 5 minutes to make this video in order to email it. So I'm going to start off with around 5 or 7 years old. I was reading the Bible by myself in my room. Around that time I was watching Indiana Jones Temple of the Doom, and they were throwing people in the lake of fire, and that scared me. And all I remember reading in the Bible was about the devil. Excuse me. And I told God while feeling his presence that I'm never going to read this book again, and I closed it. So I was scared of hell and the devil and his attacks at a young age. So between 5 and 7 years old, my mother used to go to work overnight. I used to watch porn in her room. And after my brother got killed when I was like 17 years old, I started researching about life and death when I was in high school, 11th grade. Then in 2013, when I went to a psychic, around that time my mother warned me, who just recently died in 2023, she warned me to stop following a cult leader named the 13th Son, or I would end up like the Jim Jones case. So mind you, I went to the psychic, and to sum it up, she's told me to rap. She told me something came inside of me through my father, through some etc. It's a longer story. I could share it if I get led to share it later. So she told me to wrap 7 paper towels around the egg, bring it home, put it under my bed, bring it back in like 7 days. And when I brought it back to her, she prayed over it and said, whatever's inside her stomach, come into this egg. She cracked the egg, and it was a hairy, bloody root. Started believing her even more. What I knew that was weird was she didn't even touch my palm to read my palm. It's like she was scared to touch my palm, and I knew something was off, but I didn't know because I wasn't a believer in Christ at the time. So then in 2017, I asked God to give me the gift of tongues, and weeks later, he gave me it. And in 2024, or this year, 2025, I found out it's ancient Hebrew. I'm working on getting it interpreted. So in 2016, I heard in my spirit, you are a battle axe warrior. Then I was led to Jeremiah 51 verse 20, which says, you are my battle axe and weapons of war. For with you I will break in pieces the nations, and with you I will destroy kingdoms. Then I go on Facebook, and several people started sharing that verse. Then a year later, I moved from my father's house to my own apartment. And up the block on a building, it has old stamps that says battle axe like 4 times. That blew me away. Then years later, God proved to me that the Bible is his word. I was in the emergency hospital awaiting to, well, let me go rewind. Ever since I went to the psychic, that's when I started having mental problems. And then I got diagnosed with mental illness. I was suicidal, and I attempted suicide, tried to drown myself. 2020 something, I was in an emergency hospital waiting to go to the psych ward, and a social worker said, I heard you assaulted someone yesterday. I felt God rise up in me to ask her a question, which was, where did they say I assaulted the person? Because people usually report where it happened. She said they didn't say, so you know that's a suspect. Then she left the room, and I called my brother, and I was talking to him with my eyes closed. Then Psalms 27 verse 12 came to me in a vision, which says, deliver me not over into the will of my enemies. Mind you, God delivered me from the will of my enemies, because I could have got arrested, could have went to prison for a false witness accusation. Then it also says, for false witnesses are risen up against me. Somebody bear false witness against me and said I assaulted somebody. Then the last part says, and such as breathe out cruelty. Excuse me. And then when I got off the phone with my brother, I overheard a lady saying he's homicidal, and I thought she was talking about me, so I rebuked her. And then I heard the spirit heard the spirit within myself call her name and say she's cruel. Then I read verse 12 again, and the last part says, for such as breathe out cruelty.